I do like
moves?
REO Speedwagon. That might be it.
Wow, I couldn't name an REO Speedwagon song.
What? No, that is a lie.
I know the band
No.
name.
No.
Off the top of my head, I can't even name their biggest hit.
Oh my. And I'm gonna keep on loving you. That's not how I actually sing, I promise. But you don't know that song? Because it's the only thing I want to do.
That sounds familiar now.
I don't want to sleep. No, you don't.
I think I'm aware of it. I didn't grow up with the Speedwagon. Hello and welcome to Library Grindhouse. We're taking heat as your library card. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah, and today we'll be we'll be giving you our top 5 reasons why to watch the 2015 film Green Room.
All right, Leah, but first, why don't you hit him with that spoiler-free plot summary?
A traveling heavy metal band witnesses a murder after playing a show in a secluded building, causing the owner, who is the leader of a gang, to order their execution in order to keep the authorities away. The band is then thrust into survival mode as they try to make their escape.
Okay, Leah, what's number 5 on your list of reasons to watch this film?
My number 5 reason is the line. Now, mind you, we'll get to it. I like this actor. But the line that's just, it's funny. You were so scary at night.
It's funny. You were so scary at night.
Which I feel like just encompasses all horror films, because it's totally true.
Sure.
Like, I feel like everything is way more heightened, scary, just creepy at night. And then, for instance, I watch this movie during the day, and I'm just like,
It's a lot easier to take during the day.
Yes.
But watching a scary movie at night, like right before you go to bed, turn off all the lights?
Exactly. But I mean, even in terms of, like, I was putting myself in their shoes too, and it's like, I'd rather have someone trying to come after me and kill me during the daytime than at nighttime, because then you have that like horror effect. I mean, it's still obviously horrible. Someone's trying to kill you. But you know what I mean? But I was just like, that was actually like just the simplest statement, very profound.
Well, no, but the thing is, Leah, there's a reading of this movie. Like, if you were to think about it or rewatch it sometime, watch it with the lens of like, this is about the experience of watching a horror movie versus being in a horror movie.
In one. Yeah.
There's a whole through line in this movie of that, you could see of being like innocence versus experience.
Yeah, I get that, yeah.
And I have some of my reasons to cover that a little bit, but that's another whole other reading of the movie. Yeah,
no, I can see that definitely with some of the scenarios that were thrown out there, which I'm sure you'll give away, or not give it away, but you'll
I think we'll talk a little bit about it more. So,
Okay.
Cool.
What's your number 5?
Number 5, the Desert Island Band callbacks. It's a cliche thing, but it's just one of those things that paid off so well throughout the movie. I wasn't expecting it to. I didn't even remember it because I've seen this movie once before. But I just thought it worked out, and I couldn't believe how much it comes back.
Yeah,
I was a little surprised by that. And Leah, what's your Desert Island Band?
My Desert Island Band?
Springing it on you.
Oh, man.
What is your Desert Island Band? The Misfits?
Oh, man. No, not the Misfits. I don't know. I think I'm going to be like Anton.
There can only be one. Highlander style.
I think it just depends, because I'm in such a weird mood. Like, it depends on my moods. I don't know.
Is there a band that can encompass different moods?
I do like REO Speedwagon. That might be it.
Wow, I couldn't name an REO Speedwagon song.
What? No, that is a lie.
I know the band name. Off the top of my head, I can't even name their biggest hit.
Oh my. And I'm gonna keep on loving you. That's not how I actually sing, I promise. But you don't know that song? Because it's the only thing I want to do.
That sounds familiar now.
I don't want to sleep. No, you don't.
I think I'm aware of it. I didn't grow up with the Speedwagon.
No, but I like Foreigner too.
Ooh, Foreigner's a good pick.
Foreigner just has a little bit of a mix of everything.
Yeah.
You could also say the Beatles, but I feel like that's just...
I couldn't do the Beatles on a desert island.
I don't know if I could do it all the time.
No. And they don't have enough moods for me.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Maybe the Speedwagon does. They have a ton of albums, so you have a lot to choose from.
They do. But I don't know. Now that I'm thinking, maybe it would be Foreigner.
The hilarious thing is, one of the characters in the movie actually picked who I'd have to pick, and that's Simon and Garfunkel.
Really?
Absolutely.
Really?
When
I
she
wouldn't
said it,
have
I'm
thought
like,
that.
dang, she's right.
That is a good one.
I was like, dang,
They've got a
some
little bit of
rock, you've got
everything.
all kinds of genres, and I know pretty much every song. Like
That is true.
And I mean, it's just one of those things where, and I think about it, I'm just like, you know what? I don't think there'd ever be a day where I wouldn't want to listen to a song. Like, I don't think I'd get tired of it. Like, because they've got so many vibes. I mean, it's crazy. And especially if you have access to some of the B-sides and things.
But then
you're
you've got like some like Bill Withers. Like now that you're going down the Simon and I'm like, okay, well, what if like more smoother and more like, oh, I could listen to him too.
Yeah, I mean, if I could do Paul Simon along with Simon and Garfunkel, I mean, no question. I mean, because like that, I mean, he's my all-time artist. Like,
I didn't know that. That's really funny.
I love Paul
Interesting.
Simon. I love Paul Simon.
See now I'm thinking. See, this is why it's hard. I'm like, oh, the Kinks. That'd be really good. I could listen to them all day. And then I'm thinking, like, there's too many. There's too many.
Okay, all right.
You did, but Simon and Garfunkel is a good one. Like when she said that too, I was just like, oh, but I didn't really think on it. Like,
But the thing
it
is, like,
is true.
it's funny that they're both like the bands they bring up. Like when things get real, it's like, oh, this is really who I am.
Yeah.
And it's not like just like, oh man, we're such posers. Like, and it just the exposure that they've gone through by that point is just like.
Poonce's was Madonna, and what was the first one?
Oh.
Because they were exact opposite. Her last one was
you're right.
Madonna.
Yeah.
Did she
One
say-
was Prince. One was Madonna, and
Did she say Black Sabbath and Madonna?
maybe something. It wasn't. I don't know if it was Black Sabbath, but yeah, it was something. I'd
And
have
the
to
other
go.
person, Misfits. Like
Still
you
the
said.
Still the Misfits.
Still the Misfits.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never heard the Misfits. But anyway, Leah, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Patrick Stewart. I will say so. Obviously, I always say I will say. I just realized that. Anywho, Patrick Stewart, non-Star Trek, non-X-Men, and this movie made me realize that his voice is his like main gift in terms of having him. You feel so comfortable around him. When he was talking through the door, I was just like, I think I would trust him. I think I would be the person. I'd be like, listen to him.
Where are the police?
Takes a while out here.
Stay back.
Just want to make sure that no one else gets hurt in the meantime.
He's so, like, just, his voice was very calming and low, and yeah. But it would be a horrible move in this movie, and I'm sure that probably has worked for him, and that might be why they chose him, like, in order to fulfill this role. But it was just, it's a role that you don't see him normally in, and it's...
I mean, he's the leader of the gang, so it makes sense that he would be able to captivate a group of people and bring them under his thrall.
But I was just like, I never realized that Patrick Stewart's voice was like that up there with, I mean, he's not, Morgan Freeman. I'm not saying that.
Yes, he is.
But he's still.
I mean, he's not Morgan Freeman.
No,
Don't get me wrong.
No,
I'm
but
not-
his voice,
I mean, they're very,
is.
They're both legends. But as far as voice, I mean, his voice is.
I never really like. I don't know how to word this. It's not like it was never a, close your eyes, it's very soothing. Until it really hit me in this movie where I'm like, he does have that type of voice. Like, it is a very soothing, trustworthy, calm type of voice. And I didn't realize that.
Well, I mean, but it's authoritative. Like, I never saw Star Trek: The Next Generation. I still haven't seen it. I've watched like First Contact and Generations was basically my main exposure. But just remembering, like, one of the girls I went to high school with was just so enamored of Patrick Stewart, and just like, she's just like, engage, and she's just like, she was just any word that would come out of his mouth, just like, he's just magic. And I didn't get it, and it's like, oh, okay, but he's just the charisma behind
That
the
is
voice
true,
too. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
He's
got a
charming
presence.
guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I don't know why.
And he uses
just never...
it to. That's why this character that he plays, it's such a chilling thing for that.
Yeah.
And he'll be further down my list for me, but.
See, I always
we'll get
picture
there,
him
but
as
yeah.
King Richard.
King Richard in what?
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh gosh, he's in that movie.
He is.
All right.
All right. So, what is your number 4, Jesse?
My number 4, Anton Yelchin and Imogen Poots. the Poots. This is one of their 2 legendary team-ups, and I wish that there were more movies together. I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I enjoy them on screen together. Like,
They have very good chemistry.
it helps that they're both great in the movie as well as in the Fright Night remake, and so it's just one of those things where I'm just like, they should have been burying the axe together. I don't know how that didn't happen. I don't know how they didn't get 3 movies together. Like, it should have been.
It probably should have been. She would have been great. Well, I mean, the other girl was great in Burying the X, too.
I don't know who I would have replaced. I guess Alexandra Daddario or something maybe I would have replaced with Poots or something.
I don't know. But they do have very good chemistry together. Like, they just
I don't know what it is. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, there's something about, they just both have the same demeanor, I feel like, or something. There's something about them where you're like, oh, yeah, I could see this, too.
Shouldn't we be panicking?
I'm hungry.
I can't die here with you.
So don't.
And I wanted more reasons to say Imogene Poots. I mean, such a great
Like
name.
saying Imogene Poots, guys.
The Poots. The Poots is loose. You know? Yeah, great on-screen team. All right, Leah, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is this movie solidified it, even though there is some damage to dogs. But it did solidify that dogs really are man's best friend. So these dogs, and it's all about the owner. It is all about the owner. One of the scenes in the movie is just a dog not attacking other people and just lays down next to its dead owner. And I was just like sobbing. It got me. It got me good. There's something, I don't know.
I mean, it wasn't the dog's fault.
No, that's what I mean, but it just,
And that's where it's like, the dog warms the heart, but then it's just like... But
they can do heinous things.
That guy does not deserve that dog.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. Like, it's just like, dogs are really the most loyal creatures in the entire world.
He loves his dogs, and you can tell he loves his dogs, but he also...
A
loving person would not do that to their dogs.
That's what I mean.
But at the same time, he's almost in tears, like, okay, this will give him another hour to live.
Should keep him alive for another hour. Consider it a personal favor if he dies with meat in his teeth.
But I want him to die with meat in his teeth.
I know, but still, that's the thing, is that's that dog that was wandering, so he still wanted, like, the dog was going to die right next to him.
Right.
And he was going to die. Like, But I was just like, he loves his owner even though he doesn't deserve it. Like, I was just, this poor puppy, come to me. I wish I you the best life in the entire world, I promise.
But those are like the worst deaths in the movie. Like,
I know. But even still, it's a soft spot for dogs.
I can't have a soft spot. I'm just like, take it out. Like, this dog is damaged beyond repair.
True, but he also, like, he had that command where I feel like it was just, like, it's almost like a mind control thing. When you're command and probably...
No, as I said, it's not the dog's fault. But at this point, that dog is gone.
I don't know. See, I probably would have done... I just probably let it just keep on going. It is always the owner's fault.
I mean, we do not deserve dogs. Dogs are too pure for this world. I mean, and it's one of those things where we can ruin these beautiful animals and make them do horrible things.
Because they're the most loyal things. I think that's it. I think it's the loyalty aspect that gets to me.
Sure.
Like, they're loyal to a fault. Even, yeah.
Fair. All right, I guess. It's a little weird, but...
It might be a little weird, but it's true. Like, I'm such a dog person, and Jesse gratefully, like, watched this movie before I had seen it, obviously, and he said, there is some animal
there's
stuff
dog
in
stuff.
there.
I just tell you there's dog stuff.
Because he knows that I'm very, soft when it comes to...
I just don't want you to be taken off guard. I want you to be prepared going in, like... Yeah.
So I was prepared going in, and that might be why it was on my mind enough to make it in my top 5, but I was like very prepared. Okay, what's your number 3?
Number 3, the way violence is handled in this movie. I mean, it seems realistic. I mean, like this band that's in this movie, I've never really seen real violence.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where this movie has taught me it only seems realistic until you actually have it in front of you, which I hope to never see anything remotely like this ever in real life. And it's rightfully brutal, but it isn't lingered on or in any way celebrated. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, it's also interesting, like, how the kids in the band act like they've seen it all and are pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Like, that they're nonplussed by anything, But when the violence happens, they're in no way prepared.
Yeah.
Like, in any way. and they can't handle it. In fact, they comment that maybe the first person killed isn't really dead.
Yep.
Because there isn't much or any blood. And then one of the evil guys brutally yanks the knife out and says, there's your blood.
So gross.
And it was just like, oh dang, like.
So gross.
Yeah, and I mean, these kids were just innocent babes in the woods, literally, until everything goes down. I mean, they literally have a heartstring pulling piece of music play as the band's tearing through one of their like hardcore punk songs. To make the viewer see them as young, innocent, full of life. Like, look at these kids. Look at how full of life they are.
Yeah.
Not much longer, you know? And it's quite a juxtaposition, and the movie mostly, like, pulls it off.
They do.
And it's one of those things where watching it again is where you really notice it, like why are they playing this lilting music and lingering in slow-mo as they're, like, siphoning gas or like just hanging out around a campfire and then playing this song as these guys in leather dance around weirdly in slow motion. Like, what does this mean? And it's like, oh, like this is like the whatever's left of their innocence is dying. Like before our eyes, we're seeing that. Look at this innocence, and it's just interesting. And that's where it's like watching this as a commentary of like horror movies. Like people will be like, oh, I've seen it all in movies. And then if you see it in real life, horror movies in no way prepare you for real violence. I think that's what this movie's saying.
Definitely
It's like until you're in it, there's nothing that can prepare you. And I thought that was kind of an interesting thing.
I feel like this is the reason why to watch these, just so you know, people out there in the universe. Because I feel like this was your second time watching it.
Right.
I've only watched it through one time, and just hearing you talk about it, I'm like, oh, he's right. You're connecting so many dots for me. Or so many, like you were saying, some undercurrents of the entire movie.
But this movie is such a hard movie to watch, and it should be hard.
It is.
That's what I appreciate about it.
It is very hard, but there were some questions where I'm like, I wonder why they did that. In the back of my mind, already being a movie watcher and like knowing that there's reasons for everything in movies, or there should be.
Yes, should be.
Big should be. But yeah, but like knowing, I mean, obviously I'm a huge fan of Anton, so like he wasn't necessarily selective over his movies, but like he chose kind of the grittier, darker roles.
Right.
When he could, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
So like I was just like, there has to, and then Patrick Stewart too. I'm like,
oh yeah,
he was a Shakespearean actor. Like there's a reason for why he chose this movie. And I did enjoy the movie, but like I wasn't picking up on so many different the little things that you have just said, and it's just completely opening my mind where I'm just like, oh, that now a lot of it makes sense now.
Because like the scene steered my mind is where like a guy's literally his body's getting unzipped, and it's like one of those torture porn movies like Hostel or something that would like linger on every single slice and drop of blood. Whereas this is like it happens and it cuts away and you're done, and it's horrifying, it's brutal, it feels realistic. But it's also not glorified or anything, which I appreciate and it's one of those things where I don't think I'll ever be desensitized to the violence in this movie, and
I think that's a good thing that you
absolutely. But that's one of those things where it's perfect because I never want to feel comfortable watching this movie.
Yes.
And too many horror movies, like slashers, people watch Friday the 13th over and over again because it's goofy, or like you're watching it for like the makeup effects and like the kills. And this is a movie where they've done it so well that the violence will always hit hard.
Yep.
And will always affect you. And that's a feat.
That is. It definitely is.
Like, I could never see just casually watching this movie, which I like that about this movie. I don't want to be okay with this. It
was an interesting movie to watch, especially for the first time. And like, watching it after I've watched several of the other slasher films, and then seeing that it was a award winner at multiple independent film festivals, and just being like, okay, I can understand why. Like, I really can. And also, which I don't want to give too much away, but it's not one of those like happy-go-lucky, like, oh, the band sticks together. You know what I mean?
No.
It's literally like, this is probably what may happen in real life with these particular characters. Like, it's not.
It felt like it could happen.
Yeah.
And like, and A24, who put this movie out, is kind of known for like elevated horror movies. And I've seen some of them, and some of them it's just like, oh, forget you. Like, what with your pretensions, like your PhD in horror filmography. I feel like
some of them go a little bit more into like the sci-fi, otherworldly.
I just don't like the movies where it's just like, look how smart I am. Look at how like I want you to write your thesis on me.
Yeah.
I am smarter than you. I can't stand those movies where it's like, I love a smart movie, but I don't love a smart movie that's like calls out, look how smart I am. And I feel like A24 puts out a lot of those.
I agree with you on that one.
Whereas this movie is smarter, I think, than it lets on, and is smartly made, but it doesn't throw it in your face.
This movie's a sleeper.
Good luck falling asleep.
Not
in this movie.
not a sleeper. I meant it sneaks. Like it's undercover.
It stays with you.
Yeah, like it's not so. I mean, there are some brutal parts, but it's not super in your face. Like you were saying, like camera pulls away. It's more realistic.
It doesn't, but it's there. I mean, you see it.
There.
It's there. It sears into your brain, but it doesn't overstay its welcome, and it doesn't make it about that.
Yeah,
It's about it without being about it.
Yeah.
And that's a feat,
Yeah.
I think, to me. Like it's an accomplishment.
No, absolutely. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
It does make me want to watch it again, though, even though
Give it some
it's
time.
hard. It's
Give
hard.
it some time.
It's hard, yeah. But now that you've talked about that, like I want to.
I mean, whenever you do get around to like revisiting it, hopefully you'll be able to watch it with another set of eyes and be like, oh wow, there's more to see here and experience. Yeah.
I agree.
Cool. Well, Leah, what is number 2 on your list of reasons?
My number 2 is I've been bringing him up this entire video. It is Anton Yelchin. I think he is a phenomenal actor. I believe that I said this in Burying the Ex. And didn't we do another movie with him? Or was that the only one?
I want to say we've only done Burying the Ex.
I was gonna say, we've talked about him.
I feel like we've talked a lot about Anton, but...
But he's just a phenomenal actor, and I'm going to plug another movie called Love Antosha, which his parents put out, and like it goes beyond his life, which I loved. But even in terms of this movie, like his acting seems so sincere. He's got just some sort of quality, and I can't put my finger on it. It's not necessarily his voice. It's not necessarily his movements. I don't know if it's just how fully he encompasses every character that he becomes. I don't know what it is. He's got some sort of quality
he always
that
plays
is
kind of the same character, but somehow it feels fresh.
It feels different, yeah. Like he doesn't change his voice.
No.
He doesn't change his movements. He doesn't like even really change the way how he looks in a lot of the movies.
No.
But it's different, and it's like I can't.
Like Evelyn, You Deserve Better Than a Quickie. It said the same way as you would something in this movie.
Yeah.
Like it's the delivery. It's weird.
It's very weird, but like he is still somehow completely different. I feel like that's just that's a mark of a really good actor. I feel like at least. And
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I want to watch every single one of his movies. It's sort of a bucket list thing of mine. Just
Sure.
yeah, gone too soon.
Absolutely.
Really sad. Yeah, I feel like he could have done like amazing things.
Yeah. I mean that paintball monologue.
Yeah.
It's not quite the Jaws monologue, but it's
No,
pretty good.
but even that whole thing, like I don't know if it's when he says things, he says it with so much feeling. Like he really does put a lot of feeling into his words, or into his acting. So I don't know if that's I don't know what it is. You need to watch Odd Thomas. That way you can just
Yeah. Well, and the paintball thing is another one of those things where it's like again like. It's one of those things, though, where like an experience they had actually translated into, and it was an actual experience that he had that actually translated into their real life. And it's also another thing about innocence versus experience. And even though that was all, the paintball game was not real, so to speak, it was still a real experience.
Well, yeah, you still have that.
Of hiding and
you still
whatever.
have that adrenaline pumping, I'm
exactly,
sure, that fight
and
or
you're
flight.
You got a bunch of
being hit with
ex-Marines after you with paintball.
Being hit with a paintball hurts. Like it's not.
I haven't, and I don't care to.
Oh, I've gotten hit with one in the neck, right between the mask and the
No, that doesn't sound good.
But yeah, anyway, but it hurts. So like it is sort of like real life.
It's a visceral thing. It's a visceral. You're trying not to get shot, literally by paintball, but you're still trying not to get shot, and you're
Yep. No, he does a phenomenal job. And yeah.
Sure.
I need to rewatch this. It's making me want to rewatch it sooner rather than later, and I shouldn't do that. What is your number 2, Jesse?
My number 2. Patrick Stewart. If you have only seen him in X-Men and Star Trek, and I guess Robin Hood Men in Tights, buckle up and see why he is Sir Patrick Stewart, acting legend. I mean, he is absolutely chilling in this movie. And he vaguely changes his accent. He doesn't completely Americanize it. And sometimes British actors or any actor with an accent that needs to speak in a quote unquote American accent, lose their ability to act. He does not.
He doesn't. This was like one of the first roles where I've seen him be kind of chilling. I can't think of another role.
I don't know how many times he's ever played a bad guy. Like maybe on stage in Shakespeare or something.
Yeah.
But I've only ever seen him as like hero or hero adjacent.
Yeah.
And yeah.
He does it well. But like I said, he's like that sneaky, like he's got a voice you can trust, but really he's not it's...
Well, he has a built-in charisma that's like, this is Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
That is like, you can see that he'd be able to lead this gang and hold them in his thrall because he has that gravitas of being Sir Patrick Stewart. And that completely helps you buy in.
See, really, throughout this whole movie, does he even really do anything, like, bad?
No, and I kept waiting for him to actually, he only at the end is he almost
Yeah. But that's the thing.
I mean, he's directing people, but again, he's using his voice.
It's crazy.
To talk to them. He's using his voice to direct everybody.
Just shoot who is left. They don't have to be accounted for.
And it's
he's handing the keys to people. He's doing things like he's having people do things.
It's believable too. And I'm not saying, I mean, I don't know how tall Patrick Stewart is or anything like that, but he's not like one of those towering men that you would seem would be like the leader, but he suits it so well, probably because of that, because of his like, just a...
Well, he just brings it.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's just some... I mean, I don't know. I feel like I would follow Patrick Stewart. I'd not like that, not in this movie, but I meant like if Patrick Stewart was like, hey, follow me somewhere, I'd be like, okay, you would never leave me astray.
Sure, yeah.
Except for in this movie.
Right, yes, in this case, yeah, definitely leading astray.
Yes,
definitely leading astray.
Yes.
Warning, danger, Will Robinson.
But I feel like he just has that sort of presence. And some people have that. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, he's just the draw for this movie for me. Of just like, I've never seen him like this before, and we'll probably never see him like this again. And it's just one of those movies where it's just like, dang.
Yeah.
I kind of wish he'd been able to be in more movies. Awesome. All right, Leah, what is your number one movie to watch? Leah, what's your number one reason to watch Green Room?
Oh, because I said so.
All right.
What is your number one reason, Jesse? I just have a feeling you're going to win this one. So
because I said so. This movie is intense. And I felt like I had downed about 50 cups of coffee when it was done because I was so jittery. Like, this movie just made me fight or flight by the time I was done. And I've seen the movie before. Watching it the second time. Like, it is so well acted, so well made. I can hardly recommend to viewers who can handle it. I mean, it is intense. But it is just, like... adrenaline, not in like a fun way, like of
of just a realistic, very authentic adrenaline.
Like you're like with these people, like anyway.
No, that's the only reason, because I knew that you would win. Like, I mean, I feel like this movie is a to-watch movie.
It is. Like, if you watch horror movies, slasher movies, like, and watch it as a commentary on that, like of just like, you think you've seen it all, and
So I mean, I am gonna give this one to you, obviously.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll take it. This movie's hard, people.
It is.
I really had a hard time watching this again because I knew what I was going to get, and I wasn't wanting it. But at the same time, it's so well done, and I think that's a testament to the fact that I had such a hard time going back to it. That's effective. It's an effective movie, and not a lot of horror movies are like that.
I agree.
Well, those are reasons to check out Green Room, so head on over to Canopy to check it out for yourself. Live at Grindhouse, I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.